do we want to just cut to me starting my thing, or do we want to
ASMR?
What? Oh, hold on. We've got to get the crinklies. I don't have anything super crinkly.
Ice cream.
The level of dumbassery this has gone to is just insane. Okay.
Oh wait, no, if we're gonna do ASMR, then we've got to do ASMR. I don't even know if that was in frame. I didn't look.
The abs were in the frame though.
Oh, okay. The important part.
Right.
I have plushy abs as my background on Bubble for Chan's chat.
I saw that when you took a screenshot of it. I'm like, yep, she did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because I can.
I watched my videos last night that I sent in the messenger, the group chat.
You were so drunk.
That was not the only thing I did. I went on to one of the groups, the Facebook accounts, and I think it was the Skits 21 plus or whatever that one was.
Mm-hmm.
And they shared a picture of Benny in a cowboy hat, and you liked it. Remember?
I saw that comment. I mean, you've made that comment before.
Save a horse, ride a Benny. And then it went on. I think there's a long line for that. And I said, I'm willing to wait no matter how long it takes.
Well, I'm pretty sure he'll get to all of you eventually, just asking.
He's going to be everybody's favorite mechanical bull. We're all going to be going for the longest time. See who holds the record.
This, where do I stand? It's behind me and Sarah.
See, the lines are formed.
Can I cut in line? And is Felix first in line?
Oh.
It's every woman for themselves. And this is where it got interesting. I said, first come, first serve, but I'll let you cut in. It'll probably be a hit and miss, because how would he be able to handle so many of Benny wives at a time? I really shouldn't have my phone right now. It's my B-day, and I have many drunks. So anything that comes out will be held against me in the Skits Delulu law.
I have many drunks.
Hey, Felix, and your vegetable or your fruit carrot.
His Italian Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
I suspect he said that on purpose just to bug Chan.
Yeah.
And he could
Yes,
have.
No
I
way
think
he'd
so.
hear it.
Yes.
What you want, Benny?
Oh. And then, you know, everybody said happy birthday. And then I said, thank you, ladies. But to be honest, I think Benny wouldn't handle one of us. Shit, I don't think any of the guys would. We are bad influence, but then again, they are two naming, no names, Chan and Ian. They vibe very well with stays. Hee hee, I need to stop, but I don't want to stop. Get some drinks in me and I'm having a party.
Well, you have fun with that.
Yeah. See, I
That's
can
why you
hold.
don't get hungover. You don't get sober.
I'm sober now. You know, the way I act is like 10 times more when I drink.
I don't want to ever find out how I get if I were ever to be drunk. I'm crazy enough stone cold sober.
Right.
I do enough crazy. I do shit that's crazier than a lot of my friends when they're drunk, when
Yeah.
I'm sober. So it's just like, no, we don't need to know this.
I want to know. Let's get together. Yeah.
Yeah, that stupid song can be stuck in my head.
Oh,
All right.
Step out. This is Lady Rocha. Join us for the 411 on all things Stray Kids. I'm T1.
I'm Kimiko.
And I'm Stella. Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about a very deep topic, a very confusing topic. So hopefully we keep our thoughts all in order and explain this, because this is going to go down a deep rabbit hole. Because in fourth gen K-pop, especially amongst the guy groups, it's not enough that they have amazing music and visuals and music videos. You also have to have a storyline that ties everything together. All the music videos and the songs, the albums, everything in one great big storyline. And it's usually just called the lore. And so we're going to be talking about the Stray Kids lore today. Their lore has been started pre-debut, which I think is really interesting. It wasn't something that they just jumped in on later when they're like, oh yeah, right, we have to do this thing. No, that it was very deliberately planned from the very start.
I really wish we could interview Chan just to ask him questions about when he came up with the storylines.
Yeah, because he must have been planning this for years, because
Right.
there's a map that circulated early on, and it was a map that, if I remember right, he drew pre-debut. And it has everything in there from District 9 and Elevator through Side Effects.
Maybe.
So to have everything for those first few albums planned out and on a map, that's impressive. I mean, granted, this is Chan. We know he's got the next 47 comebacks planned and on the laptop, but
But it's not just Chan, though. I mean, if you look at the creation of Three Racha, and then not only that, the staff.
mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to find out how much input the other guys have in on it as well. I mean, because they all are pretty nerdy, watching a lot of movies, playing video games and stuff. And all of those have storylines that kind of influence what you like and what kind of stories you want to tell. I mean, while there's an overlying story arc of events in the Stray Kids world, there's also this underlying theme that goes through the story, kind of a moral, I guess, that also partners with their lyrics seamlessly. And that's the theme of being your true self, finding your identity and embracing it, forging your own path, not accepting others' expectations for you. And especially in a lot of the early songs, the lyrics go with that and speak to that point over and over again. And so it was really interesting to see that play out through the storyline and what the fictional Skiz are trying to accomplish in this world.
Yeah, I think I became first. I don't understand a lot of the lore, but around Ordinary, when you really start watching the music videos and you start seeing how everything ties in, that's when I was like, there's got to be something here. And then the whole from the beginning started, and I'm just so lost.
Well,
It's a
last
lot.
night I sat down and I started watching everything from the beginning, like not just all the music videos, but all the little promo teasers, because they did a short teaser before every single music video early on. And so a lot of the story for their world is actually in the teasers and not in the music videos. Like there's little visual cues and things in the music videos, but a lot of the very basic, very clear story is in those teasers. And there's like 30 of them. There's a lot.
Yeah, I've been noticing the fact that it actually seems as a comic book, you know, and
Yeah.
the 5 stars is a comic book.
Well, Levanter kind of ends that cycle.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
wasn't that the keys or something like that, and that was like the last of the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it all starts with District 9 and Elevator when they're in this very sterile government facility where they're kind of being brainwashed and told, okay, you have to be this, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a businessman, you have to do all this, and they're bucking against the system and saying, no, I am not that. And in fact, Lino even writes on a chalkboard, I am not, which is the whole point of that album. But then, yeah, they break out of that facility and go out on their own.
Which demonstrates the fact that they realize it came to being like they are not going to be the standard. They're not going to follow the rules of what everybody else wants to do or supposed to do, you know, and instead of being the one and the same, they're just going to go out on their own and do what they feel like they want to do. Not completely put it as defiance, but it's more of opening up to see the world a lot more than what a standard person would. Like, they're mixing not only like rap but also rock into each other. You know, they're mixing up different kind of genres and to their music, and not only that, their lyrics are insane. They're thinking outside of the box. They're thinking more so than what a regular artist would do, you know. These guys are seeing the world in different views. The dream or goal is not to follow those who want to just do the standard or who can not think outside the box, pretty much. They're creating something that we've been blinded to, pretty much. And they're showing us their world, pretty much, with what they see. Their imagination and their talent is outspoken.
I mean, it is interesting that not only are there characters in this story bucking against the system and trying to be themselves, but it's also, there's a very clear parallel to what conversations they must have had with JYP and other execs at the label, and what they're saying to K-pop fans in the industry as a whole, that we don't want to be another cookie cutter boy group with all of these pre-designated roles. You have to be the bad boy, you have to be the good boy, you have to be the studious one, and all of these cookie cutter roles. They want to be themselves, their genuine selves, and they want to do their own thing. They want to produce and write their own music. And so it's really genius how their actual philosophy is being shown in this storyline as their characters are leaving the establishment, going off into the world. And you see in the trailers and the videos early on that after they break out of the facility, it's not glamour and parties. They're living rough. They're wearing hand-me-down clothes and living out of buses and, you know, staying in derelict malls. I mean, it's not the shine and glitz that we're seeing now further on in their journey. And so it's great that they're showing that, yeah, this journey and breaking away from the establishment hasn't been comfortable and it's been hard, but what we've learned about ourselves and each other and the relationships we've developed on the way and how happy we are has made it worthwhile.
Yeah, and then, you know, starting on their own, which I think is a really great idea for anybody, really. Because when you're doing stuff on your own, you're figuring stuff out and learning emotionally. Because if you're given stuff, if things are actually handed to you, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to learn independency. You're going to be co-independent. And for them to start off on their own and doing music videos and being creative, that's how people need to start to be creative, is to work it out on themselves, which broadens their minds. It opens up their minds and their imagination, and to become what they are right now, you know. And within the albums, I didn't write down all of them in order.
There's a
So
lot of them.
there's a
It's a
lot
lot.
of them, even the mini albums. So each one is a step. It seems like a step by step of how they're actually working through on their own and able to conquer their goals, you know, working through their dreams and their goals. And once you open that door of opportunity, there's so many things that comes to you. You know, once you open your eyes and see the world in their eyes, you everything will just fall into place. You know, it's like a saying, the world is our playground, so let's play. You know? And it is. It speaks as it is. When you look in deep into detail of their albums and their meanings of their lyrics, it is. The world is their playground, pretty much, and they're going to use everything that they can grasp, you know, get into their hands, into their minds, and they're going to use it for their albums.
Mhm.
And now there was a stay that was stating about the colors, the different colors of the albums. You know, they had orange, they had red, and then they had yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the further that you get on into the music videos and the lore, the more symbolism there is.
mhm.
And so, yeah, you've got the overlying story of, yes, they're breaking out against the system. And then once you get to, what was it? Double Knot? No, it's earlier than that. Anyways, but one of the early videos when they get to what Chan calls the city jungle and they meet the crooked politicians, and you've got the symbolism of the lions being the crooked establishment and the guys being the tigers. Like, once you get to that point in the story, that's when the symbolism kind of goes astronomical and there's so much going on. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit, well, more than a little bit, of the My Hero Academia manga, because only half the story is what's going on in the dialogue bubbles and with the main characters. The other half of the story are the little innocuous things in the background. And so unless you're paying attention to everything, you're not getting the full story. And you can still enjoy the story that's on the surface because it's still good and worthwhile, but there's so much in the background, which is why a lot of the hardcore stays and the hardcore Skiz lorists are kind of like crazy conspiracy theorists, because there is a lot there.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge detail into it. And like, I at one point thought that there's a huge message that they're sending out to everybody, you know, to push themselves and give them the motivation and to dream, you know. And you know, the whole stop procrastinating, saying that Chan says really comes into play. Because, like, if you thought of a project, anything that you want to do, like a career, if you want to be an artist, then start it. Don't think about it, just do it. And if you don't have the motivation, Stray Kids can help you motivate. And then they can help you procrastinate, because if you start getting into their songs and stuff and watching their videos,
Their content.
their content, there is so much content.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Staying focused on whatever it was you were initially trying to do. But Sarah, you said something about Playground, and let me throw this out there. What does the first video say coming out of 5 Star? It's Felix, and he says, "I am ground."
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that you're saying playground, but he's just saying ground. So maybe they also have that song Battleground.
Well, the I Am Ground is a introduction game.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
So yeah, so they're referring directly to that.
But she makes a point, because when I said the world is our playground, pretty much, and it's just into it with every single album that they made. They, in the beginning, they are trying to step out of the standard. They're getting out of what they want to do, what they think, out of the ordinary. Ordinary, pretty much. They're doing something that's ordinary and that's original, and no one else is doing
Ordinary
it.
or ordinary?
Both.
Mhm.
They love wordplay.
Oh,
Oh, I know.
that's where
They're
I
wordplay
mess up all the time. Their
Mhm.
wordplay, but it is, the world is their playground, and they're actually, they're gonna play with the words. They're gonna work at every angle that they get coming at them. It's really creative, and they're showing how to be creative and how to work through it, on their own. They're
Mhm.
pretty, like I said, they're pretty much doing a step by step of how to get to that dream. And, you have to go one step at a time. You can't skip steps. If you skip steps, then you're going to fall back. And you won't be able to get to your dream. You can't take the easy way out to get where you want to go. You have to work hard at it.
So now that we've covered all the deep meanings and the morals in the story, let's cover more of like the actual fictional story side of it, because we've talked a little bit about them starting off at District 9 in the facility, but then after that, after they journey and squat a few places, they come upon a big city where there's a bunch of crooked politicians, and so that's the city jungle, and they quickly see what's going on there, and that it's just more of the same old that they left at the facility, and they don't want to be there either. So they use one of the keys, which ties into the Clay albums, since Clay is French for key, and go somewhere else. And that somewhere else ends up being what's known as the Yellowwood or Yellowwood bus stop.
Yeah.
And that's a reference to the poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, which talks about, taking the well-worn path, or the path that has not been trod often, the harder, more difficult journey. And there's kind of a split decision in the music videos. Like the main music videos show them going on the road not taken, but there's also in some of the trailers showing them going on the well-worn path and what happens there. So you kind of see the consequences of both, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, but the main storyline follows the road not taken, and then how they've learned and discovered in their continued journeys in that direction. And it gets very strange. They have a lot of weird encounters on that road.
I also like how they tie in superhero things, like with Ordinary. When Hyunjin pushes Felix out the window, it reminds me of, the Joker and Harley Quinn when he pushes her, down into the vat. You see a lot of that too. One of the things I noticed, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it, in one of the first interviews I saw with the guys, it was the infamous one where Sunman screams out, "Hyunjin loves Felix." But in that same video, in that same interview, they ask him, "What would you like to do with the members?" And he says, "Go to the moon." You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wondered if that wasn't a spoiler or if it was just Sunman being Sunman. So
it could be both. I mean, with these guys, I mean, they thought of all these albums and the scenarios and how the story is gonna go. They pretty much probably did this in the beginning. Probably not in like the very actual beginning of it, maybe towards, I don't know. It's something that they discover their life and they come out on top, pretty much.
Yeah, and the mini movie bits in during the concerts for the Maniac tour, and then the one that they showed during their Mama performance, that kind of doubles down on the whole superhero theme and the unusual abilities that each of the members have in this storyline now.
That mama, that was awesome.
Oh, so good.
Oh, super good.
They really put their all in it. I mean, I think I was tired and like 3 minutes into it. Like their energy is out of the world. Like, but they do that, they do it for the dream, but also for like stays,
Well, how many times have they been at award shows and performed and everybody's like, "Oh no, this is a Stray Kids concert. This is not an award show." Yeah. I've seen comments like that on several of their stuff. Stop it.
Yeah, they definitely take the spotlight. They don't mean to take the spotlight, but you know what? It happens.
They have a stage presence like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm. Because they're off. They're real.
They're authentic. There it is.
Authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the true meaning. Like, they are Stray Kids. They're Stray Kids. They're not just like every other groups. They're not like every other artist anywhere in the world. Their creation is their own. And nobody, no offense, but I don't think a lot of people can match that.
No.
Their team, they're not only Stray Kids, but their whole team is unbelievable. I will freaking stroke that ego so many times. They are amazing people, and their creation is just mind-blowing. That's all,
That was not where I thought you were going with that.
I know.
Comment.
I was like, you're stroking more than ego. Let's be real.
Yo!
Give it the chance.
I am trying to make this kid worthy,
Hey, I didn't say what I was thinking.
We have so many videos that are not kid friendly. Let's try to make it kid friendly.
You realize who's in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
You still don't know what I've got prepared for my crazy theory.
Fuck a duck, dude. Seriously?
Well, you
Oh,
wanted it
you'll
to
find
be
out.
kid friendly there, Sarah.
Now I know. Like,
Yeah, but
I
this
mean,
is the internet. It's all 18 plus, right?
fine. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to make it,
I just spilled my juice. Hold on.
PG-13. PG-13 ain't gonna happen, and as long as it's not rated R, we're good.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we've got. It's kind of piecemealed and out of order, but I think we've covered all the main events in the lore. What's happened that we've
Up to the Klee.
Oh yeah, up through Clea and Levanter, and we've touched a bit on Ordinary because that ties in a lot too. And there's bits in Maxident, especially with like case 143. There's some imagery in that, especially in the album teaser. But that's getting into the deeper symbolism
Well,
and all the items that keep popping up.
Well, the most part would be to help them out in the beginning because it takes a while. It takes a while to actually understand, to get the I am not, I am me, I am you.
You, I am who.
I am who, and
especially if you're not super nerdy or you don't read a lot, because I mean, as a sci-fi fantasy reader and author, I eat multiverses for breakfast, so I'm looking at this going, oh yeah, this is what they're doing. But yeah, if you're not used to that, you're gonna be going, huh?
Do they use a lot of anime in their stuff?
There's definitely some anime influences, some comic, specifically like manga and manhwa.
Yeah, see, I don't watch any of that. I guess that's why I was
Japanese
so
and
lost.
Korean
that's actually
media influence.
something to
There's
discuss.
some Marvel movie influence. Like there's some things in there that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
did you just take inspiration from Captain Marvel, or am I
Yeah.
seeing things? So I mean, there's definitely some
few things from DC in there
yeah,
too.
some Marvel and DC popular
See,
media.
I know DC and
influences.
Marvel, but like anime and comic books and stuff, I just don't. I don't have the focus for it.
That that brings up another theory. They're always bringing into the hero aspect,
like a superhero.
Yeah.
Except
everyone's
with,
the hero of their own
Ordinary,
story.
Hang on.
Because
Yeah.
Hunjin was not a hero.
Yes, I know he pushed freaking Felix, but
well, in the Mama video, he was giving off major villain vibes, and I was digging it, especially with that sea monster hair. Just,
but now, with 5-star, it's Chan being the well, quote unquote evil guy. I'm not saying he is, but he sure looks the part right now.
And I'm loving it.
Oh, it was awesome. But he's like, why is my butt so big? Dude, I'm not minded. Why are you minded? Nobody's minded but you.
Oh, now I've got the coming soon meme stuck in my head. Oh my gosh, I love Stays so much.
Okay, so getting into Ordinary, my theory, which is completely bouncing off walls, is that Felix is now the Frankenstein's monster. I mean, the monster was not actually Frankenstein; he was just the monster. But then he comes in 5-star, and he's the conductor. So I'm so lost with this.
I have a theory for that.
I have a theory. Okay.
Go.
Okay,
y'all just keep talking, and I'm like, oh, and I'm just waiting here. Okay, so if I don't forget exactly what I was thinking of. Okay. So when you were talking about when we were getting into the superhero and the villain, right? So for that fact, you're always gonna have somebody tearing you down. You're always gonna have that struggle in the world and somebody trying to block your way. But you have to get around that. Now, when it comes to ordinary, the maniac, when it comes to Hyunjin being the villain, he's creating this monster, creating this person to what he wanted, like Frankenstein. And yet that main character breaks out of that standard character. He's figuring stuff out. And instead of being like a robot, being a Frankenstein, being what is it called? Instead of being what that villain wants him to be created as a monster, he wants to be a hero.
Well, I know in Five Star he doesn't introduce himself. Like does he even say anything? I don't even think he says anything.
Hyunjin?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Painting?
I mean, he gives the angel code of was it 644? But he doesn't introduce himself.
No.
He just
only Ian and Felix introduce themselves.
That's right. No, but Han did talk. I don't remember what he said. But
Changbin identified himself as a romantic.
I'm romantic.
Yeah, says I'm a romantic. And then Lino, what did Lino do?
All right, we're pretty much getting too much on a different. That is the now. Okay, we're talking about then. We're talking about in the beginning. So when I was thinking of they wanted to be the superhero, they don't want to be the villain, they don't want to be the same originals, not originals, but the same standards. They really want to help other people's out. They want to change the world. They want to help better the world, pretty much. If you look at it, I'm going in deep. This is what happens when you freaking get a theorist person to actually look at the bigger picture of it, but like I said, the part where Hyunjin is the scientist and Felix is the Frankenstein, and Felix is pretty much breaking out, not wanting to be the monster, not wanting to be the Frankenstein. He wants to be himself and grow as a human being, pretty much, put it that way. So technically Stray Kids are like superheroes. So they're making their own comic book, their own storyline, instead of having the simple you're going to be doing this, directors and producer telling them what to do and tell them who they should be instead of, what they want to be. And now you got me like really going into detail and I need to shut up.
And now I really want to know how you feel about my theory. You don't even know it yet.
That's the thing. I've in the beginning, I want to say like in September is when I started, when I found Stray Kids in September. And I want to say in November is when, because I think I seen a stay edit, and I'm like, okay, now it's more like there's a story behind it, there's a message. And then I got into like really deep into it, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. But and they're just like how I want to be. This is how I am as well. Like, they're not the only ones that want to help better the world and open their minds, open their eyes to the possibilities in this world. And, once you open your eyes and open that imagination part of you, and don't be scared to be you. don't back off because someone says no, that's not right. That's not the rules, you know? Who cares? Who gives a damn about the goddamn rules? Unless it's not breaking the law, be who you want to be. Instead of being afraid, being the standard and being stuck in one spot for the rest of your life. Pretty much, you know? I'm done. I'm done. Like, seriously, I cannot.
Who knew the fandom came with conspiracy theories?
Well,
I mean,
it just opens up more theories about the world.
Oh yeah. And I feel for brand new states who are just now joining the fandom with this comeback. Like No Easy was my first comeback, and there was a lot to catch up. There was so much to catch up on. I'm still catching up. But there's so much more that's happened now, and it's just wow.
Oh yeah.
No wonder they're busy all the time.
Yeah, right.
But it's like a never stop thing, you know. They're just keep going because they got that storyline, and once you start a story, you have to. There's no ending. I bet you that there's not going to be an ending because yes, once you get to your dream, no one knows what happens after you reach your goal. There's
I mean, in a way, Chad's already confirmed that because during the tour, after one of the fan projects that were stays were saying we'll be with you to the last step out and beyond, Chan's response was there's not going to be a final step out. So it pretty much confirms that there's not going to be an ending to the story because there's never going to be an ending to Stray Kids. They're just going to keep going and keep telling and keep expanding on this story and this world and everything that they're doing.
Well, within that statement, your life does not end. The only way is that your life will end if God and your health problems, pretty much. But your story, everyone's story, does not end. It's like if you go and you want to reach that goal, you have big dreams in your life and you want to go for it, go for it. Do not end that dream though. Do not end that goal. That's why there should be like multiple goals in your life, but start with one goal. Don't put in too many goals. That's going to overwhelm you. But put in one goal. You accomplish that goal, then go to the next. And it's just like your story. You go to one dream to the next, to the next, to the next. It's a never ending. And like I said, there's so many possibilities in this world. You have multiple choices. You don't have one choice. You have multiple. So within that, like, it just makes more sense within the story of Stray Kids and how they're reaching their goal. It's a step by step, even though it's in pieces. I mean, not in pieces, but it's showing like individual steps of how to get to that goal, but also reach to a different level goal. You know, open your minds and imagination. I say that a lot. Like it's pretty much specific. It's pretty much how it is. Simple. They don't make it simple, that's for damn sure, especially with all the riddles and everything. But they're awesome.
They do love to be cryptic little shits.
Yes, they do. I always like getting the bubble people or lives or whatever. People are like, give us a spoiler. Chan's like, we've given you tons of spoilers. You're just not finding them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that point where I found out about freaking Felix changing his emojis.
You know, the blue whales, the blue hearts, the red hearts.
Yeah, well, the red hearts, the 3 red hearts, we have yet to figure that out. And also, I
thought I saw a theory on that. I don't remember where.
Ian, having cut himself out in a picture. And that's with Super Bowl. And you know, to think about it, there's Super Board and there's Super Bowl. Super Bowl, Super Board. it's all connected. You just and it really makes you think, really. Cuz life is not going to be simple. It's not going to be easy. You have to go through some struggles. My favorite author for poetry, and I learned it in 9th grade, is Robert Frost.
The road less traveled.
Yeah.
Road Less Traveled.
As always, if you want to join the conversation, comment here on YouTube, comment on our social media, share your thoughts with us. We want to know what you have to say. Follow us on our social media. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for watching Lady Racha. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Also, we like to feature K-Stay design for our nice t-shirts. Thank you.